Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. Today we will be taking a look at the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian C. Wild. So this is the box. So this is an indie deck and you have some sample cards here. And you have here the symbols of the elements. And inside of the box, the Naked Heart holds the secrets of the soul. And you have this guidebook. Okay, so in the guidebook, you have an intro to the tarot, how to cleanse the cards, some opening guidance, what to ask the cards. So these are how-tos, and then you have here the major, the minor, some information on the major and the minor arcana, the court cards before you go into the meanings. And it tells you how to work with the Naked Heart Tarot. So it has the message, disconnect, crystal recommendations, astrology recommendations, familiar whispers, and how tarot connects us to our hearts, and duality in the cards here. And this is where you get so you have working with the back of the deck. Also, you have a tarot and crystal grid, how the grid works, and these are the meanings of the cards. So quite an informative book. Let's look into it. Major arcana. I'm here just telling you about the suits. So Wands is taking action, Cups is of the heart, Swords in your head, and the Pentacles are your surroundings. Then you have your elements, the Naked Heart message, the heart disconnects, like the block or the reversal meanings, and working with the back of the deck. At the back it also tells you, it describes the animals, or what's featured in the cards. It describes the cards and tells you the meaning. This tells you how to use it. Then this has some spreads and glossary, and I'm going left and right, but I'm just showing you what's inside the cards, inside the book. And then in each of the minors, you have this message, and you have like an affirmation message and a reversed meaning. So a pretty good, decent guidebook, which I love, as you all know. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, this is the inside of the box. You have here the symbols of the suits and their corresponding element. You have here like a crystal grid. Crystal grid fold out, and it tells you how to use it and some suggested crystals. And okay, and then you have here an extra card by Jillian. So I zoomed in for us to see the cards better, but before that, let's take a look at the backs. These are the backs of the cards, and they are fully reversible. The cardstock is a nice matte cardstock, thick, sturdy, but flexible enough to riffle shuffle. I love the cardstock on this deck. Okay, and let's start the flip through. So you have here the Fool, and it is numbered, and it does show you the elemental association as well in some of the cards. Most of they have been renamed, most of the major arcana. See, for example, here you have for the Lovers, Chariot. So you either have the astrological or the elemental associations. This Hermit card. The colors pop for most of the cards because of the all white background and the matte cardstock. So really nice. It is a nature-based deck. I don't think there's any people in this deck. And it also isn't, or should I say it's not beginner friendly? I mean, I don't really want to say that because I am a beginner. I do have this deck. I am learning from it. So it's different from the RWS, maybe is what I'm going to say. And if you want to learn the RWS first, before you dive into this, then you can also do that. And it does have an extra card, the Naked Heart. Then moving on into the Suit of Wands, which is the Fire Suit. As always, please feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you would like to take a closer look at the cards. So I did, as much as I like the cards, the art, I did have trouble connecting with this deck, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if that's because I am a beginner. And oh, if you notice, they also renamed the quartz. Innocence for the page, movement for the knight, heart for the queen, and spirit for the king. And yeah, maybe it's because it's been renamed, because the art is very different, that I did have a little bit of a difficult time connecting with this deck. But the author sends, I think it's a weekly newsletter that also gives guides on how to use this deck. And she suggested to use it as an oracle and to use the characteristics of the animal that's depicted in the picture to kind of give you a message, or to give you like an intuitive hit, or an intuitive message. And that really resonated with me, and I emailed her about it, that I was actually thinking of rehoming this deck, but with what you said, maybe I should consider using it differently outside of being a tarot. But right now I'm still using it as a tarot, and but I'm very much excited to try and use it as an oracle, as she suggested. And there are some cards here that I really love, like this beautiful Seven of Cups. This giraffe is just precious. So yeah, I think this deck, and it has a lot of crystals. It has crystals, it has crystal associations, which I love. So I think this deck and I just need to spend time together. And I haven't been doing that. I mean, look at these whales. And this Ace of Swords, isn't... it's really... Some of the cards are really, really lovely. But I need to spend time with it. And to be quite frank, I do feel like I have way too many decks that I would need. I definitely have more decks than I would need, because I don't read for others except for friends or family. I read for myself. And the more decks that I have, the more slow my progress seems to be with learning. And I noticed that quite recently. So I told myself, that I would limit myself to just having or working on a few decks a month to get to know them. Because the more decks that I collect, it's like every time I switch to a deck, it's like I have to learn it again, if that makes sense. Even though I know that tarot, more or less, you have the same meanings across all of the cards, it's different. It's different if you're bonded to the deck. So yeah. And this is one of the decks that I'm not connected to, but I really want to. And I feel it's really just because I don't give it much time. But every time I put it out, every time I'm thinking of rehoming it, it's like it's talking to me and telling me that it's not the deck, it's me. So it's not time for us to part ways. I still need to put in the time. I mean, this 9 of Pentacles. I love the illustrations in this deck. Most of the illustrations in this deck. Some I'm not quite sure. But yeah, especially if it's animals, I love them. I think some of the cards that I'm not too drawn to is, for example, the Magician. Not too sure what's going on with that. The High Priestess, I totally love. The Earth Mother and the Sky Father, I don't connect with these cards. It's the Empress and the Emperor. But the rest of the cards, especially the ones that are animals, I love those. Zoomed out to show you how this shuffles, and as always, we will pick a card and we will do a sample reading from Guidebook. Oops. So I am a riffle shuffler. This deck is a bit thick, but it shuffles well. I mean, it's still just a bit stiff because I don't use it often. Yeah, but you get a nice mix. Oh no, my tree. My crystal tree fell. And of course, you can also overhand this. And let's just choose a card to read. Oops. And we will be reading for the Two of Swords. Alright, the Two of Swords. So if you would recall, you have here the Naked Heart message, and then you have like an affirmation, but it says here, anchor familiar whispers, and then you have the heart disconnect or the reverse meaning. So for the Naked Heart message, I get to make a choice. Even if I feel anchored by the weight of the decision, I still get to choose. When I take a leap of faith and commit to something, it allows stuck energy to start moving and transforming. Making a choice creates space for my head and heart to come back into alignment. No matter what I choose, I remain safe. Under the guidance of the universe, I can make no wrong choices because I will always be guided back to where I belong. And then the anchor familiar whispers, when you make a choice, anchor yourself to it and go from there. And you have the heart disconnect, which is the reverse meaning. I ask myself, does thinking or feeling my way through something work better for me? So it's not just a reverse meaning, it's also like something to ponder or something to reflect on. And yeah, the Guidebook is really nice, and I just need to spend time with this deck. And look at this. Look at the Lover's card. I love the animals in this deck. It's really nicely done. Some of the images, like mentioned, I don't really get, but most of it I do love. Oh, yeah. So that has been the Naked Heart Tarot by Jillian C. Wild. I love this pack. I love pandas, so I'll leave it there. And if you like it, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you again next time. Bye!